Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. So finally, after so many emails about Derrick Jaxn, I'm finally getting around to this recording. And before I start, you guys know, like, I'm just not into that gossip stuff, like from the negative standpoint. So when someone is asking me to make a recording on something that could be considered gossip, I always have my own flip on it. So I'm not about to sit here and be dragging, and that's just not my style. Because at the end of the day, we all are human, we all are flawed, we all have, skeletons in our closets or whatever you want to call it. Now, I want to be clear. I've never followed Derrick Jaxn or, I won't call any other names, but I know like so many people are invested into certain, YouTubers or certain public figures when it comes down to, I guess, leading women. Listen, I don't need no man to lead me except my Lord and Savior. And any man that God sends in my life or have sent to my life. You got to be careful, about allowing people to lead you. Some people will lead you straight to hell. You got to be very, very careful about allowing people to lead you. And this is why I have always, since I can ever remember, stressed leadership and a mindset. You have to be so strong and so firm and standing in what you believe, because if you don't, you will have people leading you who will lead you straight to hell. Because at the end of the day, we all are trying to figure this thing out called life. So you have people out here who kind of like tap into their niche, or so what they think is their niche, and all you really need is a good marketing team, behind you, or marketing, structure behind you. I mean, whatever it is that your niche is, if you got the right marketing team behind you, you can take your niche and really take off with it. A lot of people don't know that. Like, they sit around and they envy people, but listen, that's just good marketing strategy. It really is. So I don't ride the wave, when you're hearing about all these different people. And now that's not to say that I won't check out the video every now and then, or like if something comes across my feed, I don't get invested into it. So, but I have seen, I would say maybe in total, since Derrick came out, I maybe have seen maybe about 6 car videos, the videos where he's sitting in his car. And most times it comes across like the live feed as promotion or whatever. And I'll watch it, I'll watch it. But I've never, ever got invested. And obviously, many people have, because a lot of people are in their feelings about it. Some people are literally so disappointed, it's like almost like their heart is broken. Like, oh, the one person in the world left who was such the great men, because all black men are dogs, and the one person we really thought is now like them all. But listen, guess what? Guess what? Some of them same good men who are quality men of value, who truly would do the right thing by you and your family, you've had them before. And I know that hit somebody, because I had one before too. I'm going to keep it real. You've had them before, and you didn't know what to do with them at that time, and you let them go. Listen, there are some great men. No one will ever get me to hop up on the train about all men are dogs and all men are... Never. I will be first to say the majority, yes. But what makes this one guy out of all the men in the world like the staple of good men, when you've had some of these same good men in your bed, not being, but you get my point. All right. Now, I want to jump on the topic of Derrick and his wife. I did see those recordings. I did see those recordings when they, came on the camera together. And because I am an empath, And all it is, it takes me to have one conversation with you, not even with you, but just listen to you for a few minutes. I can feel through, I feel through your emotions, literally. This girl is suffering, right? Here's my unpopular opinion. What she's saying about marriages being under attack, oh, she's right. She's absolutely right. So on some of these forums, you see people almost like wanting to mutilate her because she's talking about, how this is a spiritual battle and marriages are under. Oh, she's absolutely right. You can't deny that. Here's my issue. You're not about to drag me up on no camera holding your hand to save face. You can address this public, right? Because I still got to deal with you behind closed doors. So, like, you wouldn't even want me anywhere near you. So I'm not going to be sitting up. Listen, I'm all about support your man. Just depends. But I'm not about to be sitting up here on no camera a day or two later, holding your hand, looking like Aunt your mama. That ain't going to happen, right? First of all, I'm not coming up on that camera, right? Next thing, if I'm going to come on camera, honey, your girl about to be lit. Listen, every man in the world would be inboxing my husband about wanting his wife. I know, I'm being petty, but I'm just saying. Oh, your girl was about to be lit. You feel me? There is no way in heck I was coming up on the camera in front of his mistresses, in front of the whole world who would already be ready to judge me, especially when people will use that as an excuse to say, oh, well, that's why he cheated, because you look like this. Honey, I would have been lit. But on the flip side, when you're dealing with emotional issues, depression, well, I don't know because I don't know her, but when you're dealing with certain things in your life, truth of the matter is, the last thing you're thinking about is being dressed. Like, that's not me. I'm going to be honest. That's just not me. If I'm going through my stuff, I'm going to hibernate. You ain't going to see me till I get over it. But that's just me. But this young lady, first of all, she's beautiful. She's a beautiful young lady. So we can't deny that. She's a beautiful girl. But people are going, based on her bonnet. First, listen, ladies, you're going to hate me when I say this, and it's okay. I still love you. I hate bonnets. Literally, I hate bonnets. And guess what? I won't say all men, but most men hate bonnets, and most times they're not going to tell you. Listen, I just had a flashback. I had someone who told me, we were on the telephone, and literally, she couldn't find her bonnet. So for nights after nights after nights after nights, she was losing her mind because she was like tearing the house apart. She couldn't find her bonnet. And finally, she found out that her husband had literally took and hid her bonnet, like somewhere down in his sock drawer. He was so turned off from the bonnet and didn't want to hurt her feelings. But either which way, sometimes when people are going through depression, and again, I don't know if she's going through depression, I'm just saying, and they're really going through a very dark time, a very traumatic time, it's almost like even if you want to look good, you don't have that energy and that strength to pull yourself together. So when people say that he dragged her, right? I mean, we don't know. We're not in their house, so I don't know if he literally took his muscles, arms, and like literally dragged her, physically dragged her in front of the camera. But I do think he probably encouraged her. She may have been like, listen, I'm just not there yet, but he may have encouraged her to come in front of that camera. But I think it's wrong that people are judging her, even if you have your feelings about the bonnet or the quote unquote no bra or the, the army, jacket or whatever. Like, even if you have those thoughts to yourselves, like as much as I hate bonnets, I would never go on this girl post or message her about her bonnet. That's her thing. But people are so mean, and people have this thing now where they feel like celebrities or public figures are not human and that you can't break these people's spirits. If you're going to be attacking somebody, attack his behind, right? You may not have too many things to attack him physically, you feel me? But find something to attack his behind because he has created this nonsense. All right. Next thing I want to touch on. You have a lot of people who are stating, oh, well, if she quote unquote carries herself like that, that's why he's cheated. All right. Now, this is really what I was waiting on because I want to hit this from a couple of different angles. Okay, you got chicks like Beyonce, Halle Berry. You know, we can go down the whole list of chicks who are fly, fly, fly. Sexy, sexy, sexy. Keep it together, keep it tight, keep it right. And they still get cheated on, right? Now, that's one of the number one defense that you see a lot of women saying. I have not seen really any men say that, right? Now, and I'm not saying that some men don't believe that. Now, let me say this right here. That is true. That is true. And if I'm honest, in all humbleness, I've had people tell me that. There's no way in the world your ex cheated. No, man, every time I see you, did it. And I let them know, listen, what you see in the street, I keep it tight like that in the house. Because men are visual. That's no secret. One thing my mother taught us as little girls, like it almost has been implanted like a seed. Men are visual. So as a woman, you always keep yourself up, right? Now, I'm not going to get into what keep yourself up because, again, some people believe bonnets and pajamas and stuff is okay. Listen, I promise you, if that's your thing, I'm not judging you. I'm just saying for myself, I'm not walking around in Walmart with no bonnets, no pajamas, no flip-flop. That I just can't do it, won't do it. But if you do it, I promise you, maybe you're just comfortable that way. Here's the thing. It's true. Bad chicks get cheated on all the time. Listen, some people consider me to be a bad chick, and I know I keep it tight, especially when I'm in a situationship, So, but guess what? That means nothing. So yes, people have a very valid point. It doesn't matter how you look. Men will still cheat if they want to cheat. 100% correct. However, on the flip side, and this is what my mother always taught us, do your part. Keep yourself together. Because if, in all caps, IF, all caps, if he ever cheats, he could never come home and put it on you. How many men, if you look in those comment sections of all these social media sites, are saying, oh, he had a right to cheat, he had a right to cheat. Now, we can sit here and argue that point all day long because we're women. Again, women don't think like men. We got to stop thinking we think like men. And men are supposed to think like us. We're different. So we can argue the point all day long. Well, she have children. She got a bonnet. It's okay if she want to not put a bra on. Listen, we can argue that point all day long. But when you hear men's side, and you have men who are saying, no, a man needs his woman to keep herself together. Now, granted, you got some men who are very, very aware and conscious of the fact that, once people have children and once you get married, you're not going to be like top notch every day. That's just impossible. Not every day, keep it tight, but you're going to have your days. But if you know you're coming up on camera in front, listen, I promise you, honey, he would have had to wait. He would have had to wait to make that video until I got hair, nails, outfit shipped. Like, he would have just had to wait. No, you wouldn't make this video in 24 hours after your scandal. No, we're going to wait about 36 hours until I get these bundles. And no. I promise you, every man in this world about to be up in your inbox like, you fool. You got all this. Okay. I'm out of my flesh. But when you look in this girl, I'm stuck on her girl. When you look, because we're probably on the same age. When you look in this sister's face, You see hurt. You see abandonment. You see loss. Sorry guys. Someone emailed me and told me to look on her Instagram page, right? And I'm sorry, I just want to be sure I still have you guys and I haven't lost you. Okay. And first of all, I don't even follow him. And then when I tried to look for him so I can find her, I think his page is deleted. And I looked for her and her page was deleted. But when I went to Google and typed in Derrick Jaxn's wife, it pulled her page up for some reason. But anyway, so when I scrolled down her page, I got more disturbed. It's not... It literally is almost like a Kanye West to a certain extent. It's almost like someone is acting out or crying out for help, and people are ignoring those red flags. And then when somebody snaps or something, then it's almost like, oh, we should have caught it then. She's dealt with a lot of trauma issues in her past, right? She's been raped. She's been this. And, you guys go and look at it for yourself. I don't want to get too much in detail, I guess, but she's had a lot of traumatic issues. And what happens is sometimes, when you've had those issues and they haven't been addressed, sometimes it's a lifetime of addressing those issues, your self-esteem will naturally be low, right? And then you got this dude, right, as attractive as Derrick is, you can kind of, well, I don't know for sure. I'm just saying, you can kind of tell that Derrick may have been like a small town boy, like a country town boy, and maybe they met during those times when things were kind of just, in the country. I love the country, so I'm not like judging anybody, but just low key, what I mean. And then what happens when he got that success? What comes with success? What comes with money? Chicks, bad chicks. And sadly, some men they can hear all their lives, like most of these women don't even want you. Most of these women will set you up. Most of these women are like, they just want your money, right? They can know this, but if you haven't been exposed to that, that's almost like you coming from oodles and noodles 7 days a week, living in a shack, in a hole in the ground, and somebody giving you $10 million overnight. You had no time to adjust to that. So it's almost like a shock to your system. So now you go from being this little country town guy who just probably, now you got every bad chick up in your, and as a woman, we're feeling like that's your ignorance. Like you want to stick with the person who really had your back when you had nothing. But some men don't think like that. Some men don't think like that. It's almost like the physical overrides their thought process. It's almost like, you were overlooked in school, excuse me, for the popular guy. And now all of that fame and attention that you wanted or you seek back then when you were overlooked, you now have it in abundance. So how do you even deal with that thing? So who knows? But I feel like people who are attempting to lead people, if you're very authentic and you be like, listen, I can, like for myself, example, I would never get up on nobody's camera and talk about, oh, I got it all together. So no. We're going to talk about these areas of struggle because we all have them. We're going to talk about a process because most people are in one. But I think most people get so cautious to the point that if they don't attempt to act like they have it all together, they will lose their audience. You don't have to be perfect. Most people don't gravitate to perfect people. That's why Derrick is one of the very, 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 very few percentage of people who out here are quote unquote leading, quote unquote, leading women correctly. So again, I will say to you, to all of you, like, allow God to lead you. And if you have a man in your life that God has sent to you, that can be your husband, that can be a friend, you knowing God have sent you people. Allow those men to help you and lead you, because when God sends them, they're leading you properly. They're leading you from spirit and from the heart, and not just from their little nasty stuff. You know what I mean? But be true, be authentic to yourself, because at the end of the day, people gravitate more towards authenticity. You know, when you're honest enough to say, hey, I'm not perfect. Like I might have a little leeway on some people, but I'm not perfect. I still have areas of struggle. People gravitate towards that. They respect you more. And you're not trying to be perfect. And guess what? If something ever pops up, they can't put that up on you and say, oh, you said you were perfect and you had it all together. No, boo. I told you I was flawed and tried to figure this thing out like all life just like you. So you can pop up with a picture all you want. Like, for real, you know? But when you're... See, this is what we got to be careful at. People of all areas have to be careful at. The higher you go, the harder you fall. And let me tell you something, when you're doing things in a crooked fashion, and truth be told, Derrick may have started off with the right intentions. He may. Again, he didn't have that exposure yet, you know, of women and money and all that stuff. So he may have really started off with the right intentions. But at some point, I knew he had to realize when he started messing around with the first girl or the 75th girl or whatever, if he's spiritually connected, like he said, he got some convictions. But it's almost like, you know, you want to ignore it because now you think your money is God. You think now you're God because you done came up. But see, God will sit back and watch you, right? You may think you're getting away with something, but God's sitting back in the cut chilling. Chilling, just watching you, letting you go higher and higher. Because if he going to snatch that rug, he going to make sure everybody see it. Because you won't play behind closed doors, so let me go ahead and shame you in public. So you got to be very, very careful about what you're doing and how you do it. If you know you're not living a certain way, just be real. Just be like, listen, I'm going to give y'all some downloads. I'm going to give y'all some things I've been through. I'm still struggling. You know, just keep it real. That way nobody got nothing up on you. But those are my thoughts. Again, I think she's a beautiful girl. You know, I think most people who are judging her, I think they're wrong. You know, to judge her, that's his stuff. Like, judge his behind, you know, leave her alone. It's not fair. Again, she is right. Marriages are under attack, especially now. She is right. It's a spiritual battle. She's right. The issue is fight them battles. But if you choose to stay, cool. Don't let nobody tell you to leave your spouse, no matter. But here's the thing. No matter what they've done, right? I can sit here and say leave them. I know, personally, I couldn't stay, but that's me. But if somebody else want to stay, you don't tell somebody to leave their marriage when you probably done sat here and dealt with a cheating man, husband or not. You done sat here and dealt with a cheating man and a lying man and decided to give him a second chance. But it's easier for people to look from that outside in and to place their judgments, not realizing that there may be other things going on behind those walls where she can't pull out. If you're dealing with depression and you're dealing with low self-esteem, it's hard to pull out. So what you got to do now, you got to start working on self aside of him. You got to start working on self and getting yourself back up together, right? Because once you get yourself back up together and you really see you for who you are and see that you are the prize, you know, listen, I don't care about your money. I don't care about these muscles. None of that stuff. You know, the devil is a liar. The truth is in him. I don't care about none of that stuff. Your girl got to go, boo. You will be flying the kite. Like my last recording, you will be flying that kite, honey, looking for your girl, because I got to go. Because here's what's going to happen, right? I'm going to let you go and bump your head a few times. So go ahead and fool up with these Instagram models. Go ahead and get your rocks off. Do what you do, boo. Do what you do, boo. Because I guarantee you, after a certain amount of time, you're going to realize these chicks can't do nothing for you internally. They can't feel your spirit. Right? So when that world falls, when the world is on your shoulders, like now, call these chicks down and see how they can pour into you. Call these Instagram models down and see how they can cover you. You feel me? But either which way, even though I know I would never sit here and tell a girl, usually you don't know what's going on. God may be using her, even though she's being tortured and everything right now, honey. Sometimes God will use you for a bigger purpose. God may release her and give her walking papers 5 months from now. But, you know, all this and her staying made him change. Maybe not, but whatever. We don't know God's plan. But honey, when she walks, if that ever happens, the blessings that awaits her, honey. But either which way, again, like I said, I'm not coming up on the camera with no bonnet. I would have been a bad, chick. But again, there's other things probably involved. Everybody is not into the physical things. Again, we can't deny, to summarize, that men are not visual. Yes, men cheat on bad chicks, but at the same time, you will never put it on me, tell me, oh, I cheated because I came home every day and you was in bonnets and pajamas. No, sir. You about to come home, I'm smelling like strawberries, peaches, and cream. I'm about to have this. You won't put it on me. The devil is a lie. And if I'm sitting up on this camera with you, I'm not holding your hand. I'm going to be halfway across the room, 6 feet apart. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me. But your inbox about to be blown up from everybody, including your homeboys, letting you know how bad your girl is, right? I'm tripping right now. I'm tripping, but I'm serious. You feel me? But so that's my thoughts. And also, again, if you're going through things, listen, only God can tell you to stay or leave, work it out, not work it out. Please don't let your friends get up in your head telling you what to do, because half of them miserable in their own households. Half of them done dealt with cheating men all their lives, and then when they call you stupid, you do what God tells you to do. But first and foremost, if you are not whole, if you are not healed from your traumas, if you have not worked on your self-esteem and your confidence, again, which comes from tapping into your gifts and your calling, then it's going to be hard to leave, because you will feel like no one else wants you. You will feel like, where am I going? I'm not worthy. But honey, when you know you're worthy, and you know you're the prize, and you know when you leave, you got everything and their mama waiting on you. That's not saying you're going to take to that, because you got to keep working on self. But you're not about to deal with that nonsense. And believe it or not, sometimes it takes God to separate people to bring that thing back the right way. Sometimes people don't even realize what they got until it's snatched. And that's not to say it won't come back, but sometimes God got to work on us, individually. You feel me? So yeah, those are my thoughts. But please stop attacking her. I mean, she really doesn't deserve it. And again, if you go to her page and you scroll down and you read those Instagram posts from like 2019, 2020, it's very alarming. It's very alarming. So rather than he be out here like popping the muscles and doing what he do, he should have been in there pouring into that girl, help that young lady, helping her to heal. If you're going to lead somebody, lead her. That's who he should have been leading before he trying to lead, the people he ain't even called to lead. Child. But anyway, you guys comment. Let me know what you think. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.